Hello, my name is Brian Boston, and this is my presentation on the Mongol Empire. Enter Genghis Khan. The name Genghis Khan, as you can see, means the Khan between all oceans. It is said that Tengari, the sky god of the Mongols, gave Genghis the mission of bringing the rest of the world under one sword. But this is not a biography of Genghis Khan, but rather a presentation of his Mongolian realm. The Mongols were pastoral nomads who relied on their animals for survival and moved their habitat several times a year in search of water and grass for their herds. In a span of 40 years during the reign of Genghis Khan, their average annual temperature dropped, which meant that their season for growing grass was cut short. Because of this, they were forced to expand and move out of their land, which was uninhabitable for them. The Mongols established merchant associations called the Ortov, specifically to promote caravan trade over long distances. Often there would be as many as 70 to 100 men on each mission. Through the Ortov, merchants could pool their resources to support a single caravan, and if a caravan did not make it, no single merchant would be put out of business. The losses would be shared, as would any risk, and of course profits when a caravan succeeded. The Mongols also provided loans to merchants at a relatively low rates of interest if they belonged to the Ortov. Sometimes trade disputes occurred, and this was another reason for their expansion. Despite what you may think about Genghis Khan was actually a peacemaker. People sought to ally themselves with him because they noticed his superior intellect and charisma. But Genghis Khan was also very smart because he dispersed the members of the tribal groups that joined him among the Mongol factions, thus diluting their culture, so that everyone who joined them would recognize only Genghis Khan as their leader. Genghis Khan also sealed the deal with his allies using a practice of making a blood covenant. He would prick each other's fingers and then let their blood mix, and that would become his blood brother, or anda. I would say it's a very effective method of making friends. One of the reasons why Genghis Khan was very successful in battle is because he utilized the principle of 10. Basically, he divided his Mongol units into 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000, and he developed strong relationships with the head of the 10,000. Also, Genghis Khan was very efficient in utilizing the horse in battle. So there were three invasions that Genghis Khan led with the Mongols. Two of them, the Tangut and the Jin invasion, were because of trade disputes. And in the Jin invasion, Genghis Khan actually established the capital of China, Beijing. It was called a different name at the time, and the Mongols ran it. And then finally, in his last invasion against Central Asia, that was actually an act of revenge because some Central Asians killed his envoys. And then on the return trip in 1227, Genghis Khan actually died, making his way back to Mongolia. So that was his last invasion that he led. Okay, so Genghis Khan led three invasions with his Mongol army. The first one was against the Tanguts, and the second one was against the Jin, and both were due to trade disputes. And in the Jin invasion, Genghis Khan established, which is now known as Beijing, the capital of China. In the Central Asian invasion, his last one, it was actually an act of revenge because they had killed his envoys that he sent. And on his return trip in 1227, he died. So, yep, that he won't be leading any more invasions. The Mongols left a lasting legacy. Firstly, in painting, Zhao Mingfu was the greatest painter of the Yuan dynasty, and that is one of his most popular paintings right here. They left the Yasa, which is their legal code, which handle like all their trading, all their morals. Every nation needs a strong legal code. And then finally, of course, their most prominent legacy were the Silk Roads and trading, establishing tariffs, and then utilizing imports and exports. So that concludes my presentation on the Mongol Empire. I hope you guys have a wonderful spring break, and thank you for listening.